Hello everybody, we're here for China playoffs. Trace versus All Gamers, the first of the quarterfinal single elimination games. Both teams in the same group, finishing on the same record, playing the same comp, on a map that both teams recently lost to Edward Gaming on. So it's not necessarily been the best results for them, but All Gamers going for the attack straight away, break the trip, recon back sight, enter in. I think for All Gamers, they can be very anti-stratty. I do like this sort of take more of space, but I even feel like Fung Fung's position is perfectly placed for it. Really good fight. I mean, he's stuck out in the open, so he just has to crouch peek. Yeah, Delby just hoping to spray. Been stuck. Really nice retake there. Great read. All the playoff matches today, I'm overwhelmed. Yeah, great for people like Sliggy, I guess.
对，而且如果我没看错 ，Lokin 第一个位置应该是把闪给背了，他刚才是直接瞄着对手的，他没有吃到这个闪点爆破。对。
China comes out as adept at stopping pop comps, which mean you can run more like pop agents.
那现在 AG 准备再来一波先控制。
Right, no real buy up here. Recon dart in. Camera just over here towards A. Nice position, I guess, because you sort of have to be on the angle to break it. You can't be playing from A main. Funk only has a ghost over here that's just watching this, so he's quite happy to just be facing a bit more forward. Works too, because if the camera spots the race here, you're like, oh, that's probably the side that they're going to be like more aggressive on. They do catch Kaido, so that goes all of the utility. Cloud King is just sitting in the smoke. Ooh. I mean, the amount of eco rounds that we've seen Trace lose on this map over the last 2 weeks as well has been ridiculous. And they've lost 3 players, one of which doesn't have a gun, but at least this gun's on site. And nobody's been able to actually upgrade stuff over on All Gamers, so they're just still on pistols. Still winnable and doable for Trace. Again, good retake utility. Didn't need to be that close. You would have thought that this team would have focused a little bit more on how to play up against that Decus to not get punished. Yeah, the JH stuff is a bit... I don't know enough about it to really give a point. Whose map pick is this? This is Trace's. All Gamers pick Breeze, Lotus to finish on. Stun's good. Recon darts right in this corner as well. Fung Fung pushing here. This nade is perfect. Surprised it didn't do that much more damage. I mean, it's a really nice, executive utility for Trace.
现在 AG 在地图上面被压缩在了自己的重生点附近，其他地方一点信息没有，可能要等第2轮的招牌技能 CD 了。
两个人互飞消息。
I'll draw on either side to get a bit more information. Hebei is just out facing. Luckily, you got the Cypher here that can cover for it. But you got one player of Kai sort of going in to get more in the face, and then YOU's completely backed off. So there's lots of little pockets of space that they can maybe find themselves in now. But if Kai can easily overcook it here. Nobody is watching for this though. Gets traded, 1 versus 2. You got 40 seconds, so you could just go back towards B. In fact, that's what YOU is assuming, that they know that he's over towards A from the Eldron here, so he's they're gonna just go B. But All Gamers actually cut noise and just go A afterwards. Really nice. As a player, you can't bet on any league. Yeah. I mean, I mean, just full stop. If you have any connection to a team, even as talent, you shouldn't bet.
决定从重生点过来，
还没有进入到可以听到的距离里面。
听到了，
现在可以了。
马上就。
I don't think it's in the rules for us, but it should be.
双架，忽然出来一个变形金刚。这一分虽然说是想要打一些非常规，但其实对手是有一定防备的。而且峰峰这个雷，其实他自己的位置也不是特别好，他无法投的特别深入。
主要也是因为一个镜像的阵容，看到防守方其实投资了非常多，像暗眼和山峰地线之后 ，AG 这边也是立刻把技能反交了，阻止了。
I think all gamers did well here to like. I like the rounds from Trace, like the defensive aggression, but they can't help but just keep pushing and pushing into them.
羁绊也是发生了。 两个人存活下来，而这一分对于 T 来讲 ，B 场能不能控下来非常关键，因为黑贝差一个点就有终极技能了，直接往前压，暗眼过来，罗 King 一马当先。
Again, like this is good. Like the recon dart, the paranoia gets good information. Lao King's on a good angle. Heibe's fighting with it too. That's a lot better.
Spitfire 虽然打掉 Low King， 但是只有他一个人，他位置也被锁定，打了个闪，再等一会儿，YO 就要绕后了，现在只要稍微等一下。
Nice runs from Trace.
黑贝他非常的准。
我能看到这2天 TE 对他们的防守方确实做了很大的改进。与其静待时机，不如主动出击。我有这么强势的组合，我有铁臂加幽影，直接2个技能压在 B 场里面，打了 AG 一个措手不及。AG 想稳，但是稳不下来。
对，而且从击杀的第一个人开始，黑贝这个残局几乎是稳赢的。如果说对面要硬扑，他可以直接扑一个惊雷卷地出去。
Spots is such a more legit spot with more consequences. Esports aren't. I mean,
群地剑也是能照到所有人的落位。
The amount of money invested into esports.
非常充足的。那这一回合 AG 是进入到了一个存钱分，只有2把数位在手里。
那确实没法呀，一胜一负，经济崩盘。现在是只有2把数位，但好消息是 AG 现在有3个终极技能，他们是有一套组合技的。
现在你能看到 AG 的进攻会变得比之前更慢一些，他们随时随地都要防止对方的第一波前压。
打到目前为止，有一半的回合啊，第3回合、第4回合 TE 都是有前压的。
对。 第3回合的前压可能是 AG 可以预料到的，毕竟你是小枪，要出来跟我拼个近距离的交火。但是刚才那一分的前压确实有点出乎他们的意料了。
小开自己的战术监控。
So all games on the Nico again. They have a showstopper, Hunter's Fury, no theft.
封在了前点位，封在了
Camera
前点其实
just in mid watching. I wonder how this is going to affect all gamers default as well in the future, because the last couple of rounds they have just been pushed.
但是峰峰完全没有退，因为自己
Which might condition him to just literally just play in this space the whole time. Kai's brave, gets 2, paranoid, but not really under any pressure. Doesn't know if the Omen's like TP'd out though, because I think both players get paranoid, so at least now they got the Omen here that can at least check in the smoke, can check, sees all of this now, so yeah, nice and safe.
而且地上有2个接口在哦，小开手里是有神经取息的。如果你再不进点，想要拿信息的话，一个神经取息就会暴露你的位置。
Alright, less talking about betting on yourself and match fixing and all that. Watch China. You're watching the region of the future. You're investing in the stocks of the future that this region is going to destroy the rest of the world.
这边首相局是要放，大家一起放。这一分是要顶，大家一起顶。小开在混烟的情况下，黑贝也在混烟区一起混烟，进行一个火力的压制。
That's what I'm hit for. Devolving the conversation, despite this being the region that you stand the most. Yeah, that sounds about right, Saint. Timeout though. I mean, the only issue is like you've done it before 4-buy. You have stuff like your Showstopper, your Hunter's Fury. So Trace can just look at those ultimates and be like, all right, is there any rounds that... What rounds in the past 2 weeks have all gamers done when they've had a Showstopper? Maybe they've always gone A. Maybe they've always like done a certain play. So this is a fantastic time, an opportunity for Trace to just punish this timeout. If I'm all gamers, I'm timing out at the start of last round because it's Nico, and then you can just talk about stuff there. And I think that's one of the big things that China need to improve at as a region is some of their timeout timings are horrible.
是的 ，AG 本来想的是你 B 点里面可能有最强。
How long do you think it'll take for the average level in China to reach the rest of the world?
像铁臂这样的英雄可能会跟着峰峰抢 A 场，但是 TE 并没有这么做，反而是让铁臂也留。
By champions.
半线你可以用雷击剑的。
I really do not think it's gonna take that long. My hot take from like this time last year was that Champions 2025 is going to be an all-China Grand Final. And I stand by that. I was a little bit like, after Madrid, I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about it. After the stage, I'm like, oh, 100%. Like, some of these teams are ridiculous. But I think naturally, I understand it's easy. When you see it's EDG and FPX qualifying again, likely, after they look bad at Madrid, I can't stress enough that both these teams have, like, tripled in how good they are, especially FPX. FPX look like a completely different team. I think EDG have the experience, and the role swaps that they've made are very inspired. But I think teams are catching up. And I think All Gamers genuinely could be a team to, like, compete in the future. Yeah, this is kind of what I was expecting. Plant a lot of space given. These retakes from Trace have been really good over on the B site. Hunter's Fury's used. Kai's managed to get in off the back of this really nice, like, defensive smoke. Like, fantastic round. He's 30 HP. Somebody else can get on the spike. There's 4 people lined up. Seeing if they can get Kai the ace. They can't. That's a really nice retake, though, from Trace. That's why I don't like All Gamers taking that time out then. Because it lets Trace come up with a certain idea. It might be just, all right, when they have a showstopper, they always go B. And they always play this post plant in B. The Chinese teams have the potential to make deep runs in Shanghai. Depends on which teams from Americas and EMEA qualify. Are you a caster normally? Yeah, I worked EMEA. I've worked at 2 champs. So I've done like the world events. And right now I'm casting in Northern Europe tier 2. You think it's really possible to evaluate them to the extent without seeing international play? It's hard to feel convinced yet. Oh, I have no doubt. I don't like, put it this way. I don't want to be one of those people who rips off and I've got like an EDG shirt on. I don't want, like, no disrespect to Achilles, but I don't want to be like that about Korea, like how he is with Korea. Like, if China isn't good enough, I want to be the person that's like the biggest critic, but also their biggest fan. So I'm really excited to see these teams perform. Like, during kickoff for the qualifiers there, I was a little bit like, I don't like how China's necessarily looking, but it's expected when it's this early. Nice shots from Kai. He's been crazy last couple of rounds. Helios is pretty critical of DRXO. Yeah, I know. I think it's just like another example is like Monte Cristo, right? You know, pulling off the shirt, having the hype train hat, all aboard. Like, it makes no sense for me to try to glaze up China as a region, because I'm watching this when a lot of other people don't have time. So I want to make, you know, best example I suppose is if I'm on Plat Chat talking about China, what would I say? Like, I know that my like China Grand Final of Champs is a hot take, and the chances of it being likely are very low. But the general sense is that China, like, by 2026, China is going to be, like, the best region. It's not going to take long. There's just too many players. There's too much investment. The only thing that would let down China this year is just how last minute everything's felt to get set up. This is a full buy. Monkey's already pretty low on HP just before having a Rolling Thunder. Sundown almost has another showstopper. He used it like 2 rounds ago. All Gamers grouping up, holding mid. You've got the Silver that's managed to push into B main. The camera's been broken, which I assume was this one. Here comes that B main execute. Yeah, Luo gets a nice kill through market. Paranoia is across there. It's a little bit late. Most people have like made their way in. Hebei goes down. Kai's buttered up. Luo King is a little bit buttered up too. 2 players backside. What do we like for the retake? Recon Dart, I think Where did the recon dart even go? It didn't seem to ping anybody. Showstopper on defense, clears this corner. Go on, Feng Feng. Nice double peek. They actually do line up perfectly if he had his gun out, but...
AG 的所有枪械可以说出击的时候没有受到太多技能的限制，还是非常有水准的。
对。看这个过点，看好就是12滴血一碰就碎。
LB 这个位置架的这个过点太关键。
Yeah, that.
黑贝一直是在主阵点。
There was a recon. I don't know where it went, but I think it went like here, but it didn't get a player here, and it didn't get the player in Cubby. I don't think.
双拉协同也是没有任何的问题。AG 拿到了自己的第2分。 而且现在惊雷卷地这个技能的优势来到了 Monk 这一边。
在上半场的第9回合 ，AG 是终于想起来了，还有一个地区叫做 A 区。
Some big ultimates now. That felt like a round that like Trace falling into the bad habits that they've been having recently, which is just facing a little bit too much.
确实前面一直封单枪眼不太好走，但是这一回合其实是没有封的。这一回合 Loking 的话，他的
especially when you have players like Monk that were like 3 HP.
而且测到他们也没有派人来盯防，黑贝手里的山崩地线还在 CD 中。
现在峰峰得
I like all gamers' call to go A though. Been a lot of B focus, but there's 3 players here that are just about to like dry peek them, and 2 of them line up. Great paranoia. Why doesn't know what fucking day it is. No, if F shows that he's stuck in this corner, he's 3 HP. Is there a shock dart? No, because your Silver's pushing this direction. They clear him anyway. Good, like, sort of counter-aggression. I like the paranoia there. But Saw9 has managed to lurk up and get some good space. Again, it's just Trace. They have one of the best comps when it comes to utility with, like, flashes and stuns and recons, yet they still just have 3 people peek around the corner and line up.
铁壁的像是山崩地线技能的时候，他们想要反清 A 点这个管道是非常危险的，几乎是3个人想打一个协同的干拉，但是没有技能给予辅助。
All gamers shooting back.
今年换成了一个2换2，反而让 AG 也是。
I think if you want to do stuff like that, Trace, like, get the op.
这分刚好是因为他们还是
Problem is like Feng Feng's not really an opper and he's on like the main duelist because Kai's the main opper and he's on Cypher on this map. I mean, this is a great time. Like, Destroyer for Trace, the coach, has some, like, of the best timeouts that I've seen from a coach, full stop. Every time I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. I hit up on Sunset. I think it depends on what comp they're playing. Against this comp, yeah, it's really tricky. But also, all gamers are trying to walk up on places. But when it's like Gecko KO, like just having the op in alley, like late round is really good because they don't have that recon dart that can come back online or a stun that can come back online. I think I prefer this comp to Gecko KO at the moment. It's not just necessarily like a... I think the Viper point the Saint made is a really good one. But I think it's just... No matter what the other team is playing, there's just so many options and answers here. Will you stream VCT Americas tomorrow? Probably not, because it's like 10 PM my time. I think it was a shock dart to break a trip here.
往前推，但是没有晃到人。
而现在 Loking 是只能在中路观察信息，因为他现在经济非常拮据，只有一个小甲的标配。
AG 也很懂，对方叫了。
All gamers are so scared that there's going to be some like defensive aggression thing here.
在外面做默认的蹦的，他是撤到了 A 点非常非常靠外的位置，这个位置甚至是山崩地线都震不到。
是的。 刚才Monk有大的时候 ，AG 是往 A 点走的，所以在 TE 没有吃到信息。
Checking and clearing everything. I like the amount of respect here for all gamers. Even though they like big ultimates to just go for an execute. I'm just not really the buy. It's a weird buy. Why does Lauking have 1.9k? It's not a buy next because Kai's bought up a Guardian. So what are Trace doing with their money?
卷地在哦，如果这一回合 T 想要组织回防的话，给到山崩地线的第一时间，可能 Monk 就要推大了。
Right, Hunter's Fury on attack. I mean, it's gonna tag people in mid. Look how far away Trace is. Going from a mid retake through market. Again, really nice recon, really nice paranoia.
可以让 Lokin 捡一把长枪过来，再给一个弹。
Clearly, they got to read that all gamers like to play a post plant from here,
大拉出来，但自己被卷。
or that they try to like take that space after planting.
今天已经在拆了，拆一半，没有拆一半。吊臂打掉对手，再拉过来 ，Lokin 打掉 Sornai， 先要穿，要穿。
Hey, base sticking. He's got it. They just don't think that. I don't know if they thought that he got off of it.
虽然说梦可以进把配被解
But yeah, unlucky. Is this knockout? It is, yeah. Whoever loses this series is out.
有点过于混乱了，全是枪声，而且他们可能第一时间发现有人已经打断了爆能器的拆除之后，没有听到第二声的叮。
What I see the China League is that they need one world beater coaching team who can completely change the league, kind of like Guardiola in the Premier League.
刚才就是这么凑。
I don't know. Like I see a lot, especially with like EDG, the whole they need to sign SLK or they need to sign Anders. Like, not that I don't think that those two would be phenomenal signings for any China team. Like, get Anders on JDG. But I genuinely think that a lot of the coaches have enough about them to make the changes that they need to.
其实也是倾尽了所有。
Why do you pick Nova rather than DRG? Because Nova, like,
对，
然后包括惊雷卷地也交。
I think a playoff bracket like this would suit them
已
massively.
经就万幸了。但是刚才这分输掉之后，其实对于 AG 来说，经济可就没有那么乐观了呀。
对于 AG 来讲，其实在一个地图控制上面来说
Anders isn't a proper coach though. He's a theory guy. I think that's devaluing a lot of what, like, that's what he's mostly known for Fnatic, sure, but he has like coached in the past, and he has been like an assistant coach.
可能用来混这个爆能器，所以落位是可以被 T 所判断到的。
滑车巡游，风风直接打掉，我是猎人，价值狂猎。
China's weird to me because I feel like there is like a big,
传到了中路来。
hold on,
再射，虽然
again, defensive aggression actually
掉了。
fantastic again from Trace,
直接捡爆能器，这个离魂是 Bunt，
especially on a full buy,
里面。
那要怎么落位？这个时候可不能
because the economy from all gamers for round 12 is going to be tragic.
是已经从 A 点压出来了，马不停蹄压到后面，这是一个5打2的回防。
然后两个人，又是这两个人的羁绊。但是敌人的方向实在是太多了，对于 AG 来说，这一局没有能够拿。
MC in China would go wild, especially with his scouting. That's very true.
防守前压，这一回合是配合。
Do you think DRG can win Nova? I think it's a very close series. I think it's literally 60-40.
也压了出来。
对，罗根是剑影出来的，速度比较快。这个时候你再注意正面的雷兹，他给了花之巡游，然后再包括给了一系列的。
The bookies pick is DRG. See, this is the problem. Like, I don't want people to listen to me and then put a bet on, like, put their fucking house on Nova to win. So then have, you know, like, right, you said Nova would win. Now my wife has left me. My cat has left me. I'm selling myself on the street. And I'd be like, Sliggy, calm down. It's fine.
四副准备跳了，装载完焰火直接来找人，山崩地陷，看应该是准备轰4点还是轰上面？哎，两边好像都有，轰过去找到一个，后面有人
Again, like Trace just
是给了一个隔断烟，这还是
no respect seems to be working out a lot better for them this time around.
包括黑背的惊雷卷地也在手里，现在 AG 想要重新组织一波进攻已经非常困难了，缺少了非常关键的拿信息的 Sornai。
The fact that Nova and All Gamers are two of the teams that have made playoffs, though, is crazy to me.
Monk 也没有任何的闪光了，两颗闪光都已经用掉了，手里只有一个阵。
但目前我们得看一下雕臂的位置，他如果能够抓到风风的话，那就有大。雕臂先抓到。
This is where every fucking time, Trace, you just stick around too long.
想要趁着队友包夹的时候出来帮忙，但是 Spitfire 夹的非常准。
Like this team, like Trace is so good at the aggressive side, but they need to pull out. They need to learn the pull out method when it comes to these like defensive aggressive plays. What am I saying? Rolling Thunder, like the retake is good. I mean, Monk is super low. Paranoia is magical. And look at how quickly Monk is rotating around to go short. The aftershock though does kind of give away that it could potentially be on the side, but it's at least maybe going to get like Hebe concerned that it's going to be over here. Now they don't know if... that's silly. That's fucking silly. Oh my god.
这 timing 就是一切啊！
是的，而且 Monk 确实比较灵活，他之前是从管道绕到了 A 场，又反摸了一手管道，所以导致最后其实要看两个方向。这一回合比较关键的转折点是在中路 DRB 的那个。
My point earlier was going to be for a region. I guess this is like China, but just Asia generally. There's a big focus on like respecting your elders and respecting like higher ups and like hierarchy in a company. So there's probably a lot more like totalitarian coaches that are like, if you know, you got to play this you got to play my style, and they're like, sir, yes sir, you say jump, they say how high kind of vibe. So I'm really surprised to see so many teams from China just be so undisciplined in massive moments.
这一场确实非常关键。这个英雄在地图比较小，因为日落之城虽然它有2个点位隔得比较远，但它其实是一个比较。
With a bunch of Chinese aimers. Imagine finesse with a bunch of Chinese aimers. Yeah, put him on Billy Billy. Let's like make it go full circle.
快速的进入到比赛的状态，现场的观众在这个半场的环节也非常的配合，每个人都照着旁边的表情包比划出来了自己的动作。
那马上来到下半场，现在马上会攻守互换，双方的阵容是完全一样的，但是看得出来 TE 在防守方有非常多的非常规前顶，这个前顶也是打的 AG 有点有点猝不及防。
Knight will ask him if he is okay.
而且在上半场的手枪局中 ，TE 也是拿了下来。
I mean, to be fair, it does feel like BLG are still in that. Still haven't found what I'm looking for stage of trying to get an IGL. That's why the team has just stayed in the same place for way too long. Because it's funny, because EDG sort of fixed their role stuff by putting Smoggy on main controller like within a couple of weeks. BLG have spent like half a year trying to sort out their roles and what people are supposed to be doing. Alright, 8-4. All gamers didn't win the pistol, actually, considering all gamers have been crazy good in pistols too. But then I think teams realized that all gamers were just taking all of their pistols from EDG. Yeah, much better perform from Trace overall, but still, there's still seeing the over-facing, over-peeking, overstaying your welcome.
两边对于 B 场门口的这根半线处理的都非常果断以及有效。
我们看一下现在场上这个防守方的战术监控，它是在一个房檐上，然后这个摄像头是能够看到 A 点前点的信息的。
是的，
就是你从 A 大过去的时候，一定会被摄像头给看到。
A 大基本上能看满的一个。
Just walking up mids. This looks like it's about to be a crunch though from all gamers. Look how many people are ready. Could be a paranoia across here, flashing and a peek. What's the moment? I mean, that's been dodged again. Trace have realized that they've come into a trap here. They dodge everything and they go over to the A site. Again, Trace have just maybe like all games took too much time there. That Trace realized what was about to happen and then they just reset and go A. I mean, good peek that came in from Bunt in the end. I mean, the pistol worked out in the end. Well, so far. Lao King doesn't have the spike. Where's he gone? With a crew classic as well. Ooh. Alright. Nice work from all gamers. Really good adjustment from them after Trace realized what the hell was going on. Oh god, yeah, don't. All gamers, 11 rounds. Iconic duo. They'll be getting their skins before Shanghai. So we think. I keep hearing that it's going to be after Shanghai, but I don't know. They said May. I mean, when does Shanghai finish? It is like, is it early June? Yes, we've just had a patch last Tuesday. So yeah, next Tuesday. Seems about right. Who do you think would win? Out of what? Monk. All of these pistols. They've got a bulldog as well from Sword 9 because they just overran him over here. I like Monk hiding. Because he's got other players that can maybe take some of that pressure, but he needs help now. Great paranoia. Oh my god. Bunt and Monk as a duo. It's like Ant and Deck. Peanut butter and jelly.
大家看了一下，到处都没人，而 DLB 现在是在看小道的，刚好看到了一个摸过来的黑贝。
对，之前中路就被入侵了，所以他们有警觉。那对于黑贝来讲，这一回合应该是已经摸清楚了。
Maybe the first region to be using Breach Silver.
对，
一路过来半线的声音可以大概判断一下。
I feel like Breach Silver was one of the
对，这个在这里，那个在那。
earlier like comps.
拉进来非常快。
I'm trying to think of like game changes and stuff.
时间分还是有一些非常规的战术所布置下来的，但是后续在一些混烟的跑打上面 ，AG 还是掌握了自己全起的优势，只掉了一把枪。
I mean, I guess China did have like Evo and stuff.
而 AG 这边因为上分掉枪，所以有一个人。
I think what ended up being popular though was like Silver for sure. Like China were definitely like on the money with Silver usage. But like I'm thinking of like Rare Atoms comp and stuff like that. FPX were cooking up some crazy stuff then. Trace, I think, were on this comp.
没有看到人，其实大伙就可以吃球了。
Or did they have Fade?
防守部署来说的话 ，T 了解的并不多，他顶多就知道一个 A 点，它是有一个 A 点，它是有一个铁壁在的。
是的。
然后小型无人机，他也确认上中路是一个猎枭。
两边不愿意打 A 点的原因，是因为防守方一直刮弹香烟。他们如果打 A 点的话，一定要从这个第一个拐角就开始交技能。
对，
这对于进攻方来说，就算双先锋，可能到后续也是不够的。而 B 点，你可以率先抢占 B 场之后，直接进入。
Fade Bridge was the most obvious choice when the map came out with what I thought most teams would be running.
已经开始摸了，
给暗眼了，
暗眼，然后再加上一个，再加哇，这边是有
Monk 的山崩地陷啊，太到位了。
All right.
他是打掉了拿长枪的小开。
Why are you saving stuff a little bit here?
一个3打3可以进来安装爆能器。
索德奈手里有一发寻地剑，但是从站位上来看的话，T 3个角度都有人在看。
So China was probably first, yeah.
先看小道。
I know Convergence. I'm trying to think of when Convergent was in comparison to Evolution.
给个烟继续架后路，对方没有出烟闪了，所以对于烟雾可以直架。寻地剑出来也暴露了。
Because Vitality ran Silver at least. Foot did too. Alright, good bonus still from all gamers.
是的，最后这3个人的一个枪位分配也是非常非常合理的，在爆点里
Gecko buff Chinchilla, that's very true, yeah.
3名防守人员的时候 ，Loking 也可以不用防绕后了。
但其实对于 AG 来说也是可以接受的，毕竟他打了对手不少的香切，而且也是下。
The Silver Breach instead of Fade Breach hasn't really innovated the like EG Silver Fracture though. I don't think that this is a map that you can. It's not about innovating. I think it really just comes down to like Sunset. Outside of like the B main post plant stuff, Sunset is just a fantastic map. Like you know it's good when you can play all initiators on. It's sort of like Split. Like Split, there are like super meta comps, but it's not. I guess like maps like Ascent where teams just end up running the same thing over and over. I don't think Sunset's the kind of map that you can like find out, I guess.
一直都是小到 A 小站铁壁，然后前点的话站一个雷兹，中路让。
I think it's just genuinely a really good map that Riot have made.
但是发现哎，天空又亮了一下，那3个 B 场的信息也暴露了。最后哎，你可能会以为我走了，但是我反而叫了队友一起过来。
对。
K1 split doesn't feel good though, not gonna lie. No, I meant more like you can run double duelist, you can run Viper, you can run Breach, Sky, Fade, Gecko. I'm like, I think Gecko would work a lot on.
第一箭，第二箭，哎，好像没有射中，而 BOSS 也是打掉了过点的黑贝，现在锋锋也就只有5滴血了。踩雷飞剑给过去，到底点来人。
Alright, Kai stun peek through. A nade just lands right on his sternum. Just drops to the floor right by his feet. Good fight from Monk, but he's just on his own. Good trade. Spike still hasn't been planted. 5 HP, 15 HP players. There's a shock dart for Salt 9. Oh, and they just walk out one at a time.
但是小开架的非常死啊，刚好就是架的。
Rough round for all gamers to lose if they do, which they do. Look how low all three of these players end up being.
当然也会进攻啊，最好的保安就是这样的。
Yeah, Kai started off quite quiet. I mean, to be fair, I think Kai being quiet is more the fact that Feng Feng was just dominating people. There's only so many kills to go around. But whilst Feng Feng's got a bit more quiet, Kai stepped up, which is nice.
pick 的时候，可以说多个1打1的过程中 ，T 都打赢了。
而且如果我没看错，刚才有点乌龙，刚才那个阵到0的阵到雕币的那个阵，好像是自己队友。
Again, fine timeout. You lose the bonus and then the round afterwards, so Trace's money's gonna be good. All gamers, I think, are on an eco now, or like a low buy potentially.
接住典礼的人，但是在技能配合上面没有能够打好。
I'm not used to having this many people, so I'm looking at what comments. Are you rooting for a team? Just tuned in, so if you already answered. No worry, AAAQL. There's a couple of teams that I like, but typically I feel very neutral. I'm just pro. I was going to say pro-China, but I feel like that would be taken out of context too. I'm very, like, if we see Chinese teams playing at international events, I'll cheer for whoever. Like here, this series, I just want to see a good game. I don't want to see either of these teams kind of just look messy. So far, though, it's been, like, solid. I think Trace has been a better team. Trace is still making mistakes, which I've not been a fan of. Go Valorant, pretty much.
再来看一下暂停完之后的这一分 ，T 5个人抱团。
There's players that I like that I want to do well. But for both these two, I'm glad that they're here. I like all teams apart from Tyloo. Alright. Satchel's good. Oh, but you satchel yourself back. He jumped. Why did he jump? My god, you're just making a dog's dinner of this. Showstopper stun, rolling thunder. They're going for it. Alright. Trace. I'm saying like they keep making mistakes. What did Tyloo do? We don't talk about it. Mouse bug? Maybe, yeah.
而且蹦的是躲在了箱子上面，等对面过的时候自己再拉出来。这一回合确实是可以说藏在了一个不太会拉了一个信息差，就是对方给到巨人余波之后，可能觉得你
utility there is crazy though. Like the stinger taking a fight as the aftershock comes in too. So even if Spitfires doesn't win that fight, the aftershock should kill him. At the very least, he's going to be incredibly low. Recon coming in all the way from here, just bouncing off there. Trip across the camera, just deep by the wall. Trace on a low buy again. 2 away from a showstopper, 1 away from a rolling thunder. Massive round for all gamers to win.
第一时间不太敢过去。如果预瞄这个位置的话 ，AG 大概率也不会出来选择。
How are they looking to play this? Like the Omen's trying to bait here. Yeah, it almost feels that this was specifically tried to be pulled out.
雕币只要传烟出来保护队友，蹦得非常感动啊！但是
Oh, the trip getting 2 there.
现在看一下还能刷几个？哇
，still a little bit scrappy, messy in places, but really good anti-eco. All gamers using their neural theft, but you're gonna farm those up fairly quickly.
过来抓他，直接一个剑影往后撤，并且配合上雕币给到的这个赛博囚笼掩护住了他的位置，所有人的注意力都在棒特身上。
对，而且是给了赛博囚笼是自己传烟出的，并且兄弟剑也找到了这些人的位置，打得非常漂亮。
8比10的比分。 AG 也是连续在暂停之后连拿了2分，而且有小火龙起到了一把防守的明狙在，那他守的这个点位又可以解放一些人力了。
闪幕对线抓前点，然后给花痴巡游，确认前点没人之后就会吃球，准备装。
Recon across.
焰火、惊雷卷地全部拿在手里，对于 AG 来说，想要在点内。
Shrug that again coming in, just the cameras up here.
现在小火龙在慢推狙。
Spitfires now has the op.
自己还算是比较灵活，有机会可以躲这个晚焰火。
Rolling Thunder, Showstopper, and your... I mean, it's such a good call. Like, you gotta wonder, like, Trace.
没有想到可能有一把明狙在架。
Camera's been spotted up here.
那3个技能全部
Yeah,
都在
like
亮着。
you've got these ultimates. You've pretty much like Trace have been gifted an open execute, right? With the Rolling Thunder, Showstopper if you want to use it on the way into, and Feng Feng just walks out onto the angle into an up.
掉了，所以给一个山崩地线，做一些尝试。
打闪，
Still not in.
因为隔点烟没给，市场这里烟给上。
They know that they know that the camera's here though at this point, or at least they should be aware.
还想接，暗夜夜来了，自己没有发出太多的动静。
他们也知道前面有人的，标记一下，拉过来，找到吊臂的位置。
Alright, they get the utility.
但是这里马上就有一个踩雷飞剑。
This has been a little bit rough from all gamers fighting here. You're fighting one at a time. I can't believe Monk won that fight.
但是 YOU 对枪对的有点早。
Rolling Thunder's going to slow them down at least, but the spike still hasn't been planted, so this is fine. Like, it's better for all gamers to have the Rolling Thunder used on them then, as opposed to like now. Lao King goes down. Now you've got Kai peeking. I think he thought he was going to get hit by the paranoia, and then it just crept in.
比分马上就要扳平了 ，T 可能要在这2分。
And then the invisible breach bug again. Like, why is it breach?
10比9 ，AG 还差1分可以把比分扳平，而且现在对于 T 来说，下一个难题就是小火龙起出的这一把明狙。
I mean, just a phenomenal read to like pick up the operator here.
下一回合他们如果想打快打的话，手里也有筹码，因为风风的玩焰火刚才是没有用的。
对。
I really like that paranoia. It's just
这些回防的技能覆盖
nice and simple, clears up so much of that space.
是会练出一套比较完整的回防体系。
Neither team is really playing like for B main post plants, but I guess without Gecko, it's if you're in and you're planting, might as well fight for that space a bit more.
就一层一层递进的，比如说 Solo 那个位置，他会让队友先
Last time up for Trace.
之后，两边再展开，然后再和市场的人一起夹击点内，点的人被夹击完之后，然后再去封烟，或者说去
Some of the drawings and stuff the fans are doing are like
如果被
insanely good.
时候再会看市场。
而且在上半场也有
I think they beat us in the West when it comes to how
容易被掩盖住，
good fans are, I guess.
可能也会有这样的伏笔发生。
这个时候谁也不敢报一些假信息，他拆了，他拆了，他没拆，他没拆，这种信息必须得要听得非常仔细才行。但是在这种混乱的战场里面是非常难的。
这种暂停的时间也非常需要观众继续给场上的选手加油。今天他们在赛场上可以说承担的压
The
力。
Trace big favorites, so do AG also have a good shot. I'd say that Trace are favorites, but the last couple of weeks from Trace have not looked great.
非常激烈的。
All gamers are just super like hot and cold, flippy floppy.
Looking 是一把锋刺在手里，但是风风是一把正义哦，手里有玩焰火。
All gamers is ceiling.
那种的箭头人物。
Like all gamers are going to be a top team in the region before long.
调看。
It's just more of a question of how quickly.
AG 在第一个下半场的暂停叫完之后，他们这个防守落位就一直固定在了把 AB 点的位置互换。
对，而且放 B 长，他是有一个狙在架前点的。
哎，速度在这边，中路有压力，
直接加。
他自己手里有大。
Nice shot. Oh no. Oh, the nade. Okay, really wants to kill. Spitfire still gets one. Oh, he gets two with a shorty. Oh, and they line up for Fung. All right, nice 50. Really nice timeout from Trace.
关键时刻 ，T 这边还是风风率先站了出来，在这一回。
But with a lot of fairly improving talent with a ton of potential, yeah.
关键的是小开，他打掉人之后，先抛神剑取息，然后是给风风标定了一些点位，让他去装带完焰火找人，完焰火找到对手打掉，然后再给踩雷飞剑。
This shot
小火龙在这边纵使已经
almost gets him too.
但是后续所有防守方过来的位置都是放着脚步的，风风都可以直架2发头部命中。
因为自己血势。
Right, 11-9 money just good enough to go with here.
架对方一个出其不意。
那在这一回合之后，小火龙也没有继续起到一把明狙之类的枪械，自己差一个点数。
Recon for anything close, just to mostly spot if there's anybody like facing aggro.
已经拿到了。
Also, especially with stuff like an op.
小型无人机找人，这个烟里是站了一个。
They're just in. They just spray for the smoke and they get bunt. The bunt was through the box as well. Oh, was he on top of the... Was he on top of this and then fell back?
直接安装爆能器，前面来人了，找到一个全白的吗？不，小开他睁开了眼睛。
Yeah, Monk's gonna pee through this. Flawless. Oh, not flawless. Sorry, Fung died.
叫完，两边教练的暂停都非常有用啊。
哎，
Okay, that's 12.
一波三杀，小开一波三杀，直接帮助队伍拿到了盘点。而这2分里面能看到，在 AJ 的回防节奏是有点乱的，
对，
都是比较急于回防。刚才 Soldernite 手里其实是有狂烈之怒可以进行拖延的，但是他
Oh wow, they just literally just sprayed through. I didn't know if they saw him over the smoke or anything, but it was just a random spray.
对。说在这2天里面，对于对方的一个
Difference between retakes, though. I feel like we're seeing all gamers just kind of walking out alone over and over. But yeah, you're right. 3 chances to weird 3. Chuck that to break trips. Nade. Does it get this one? No. A lot of paranoia. I mean, good movement actually from Fung to almost like tuck himself into this corner still. Hunter's Fury chicken, Aftershock chicken. Just literal meat grinder of stuff happening here. And yeah, here's all gamers walking in one at a time before anybody's ready to go for a retake. Yeah, I can't even get one. Alright, nice try, all gamers, but Trace looking better, at least on this map. I like the defensive aggression that they had. Their retakes were really good. They kept over-facing, which was a bit of a problem. Their anti-ecos keep getting beaten, which is a bit of a problem. But overall, I think that they were just like the better team. Kai played well. But I think just all gamers, these retakes just letting them down a bit. Just players like floating into angles and into fights before. Like, again, it's a comp where you have so much utility, like Recondat, stuns, paranoias. Retake utility is so strong for your comp, and you're just trying to full contact walk out into people one at a time. So, Trace went out on their map pick.